Now, the Madras High Court has suggested the centre to explore the possibility of passing a legislation like Australia, which prohibits the use of social media for children who are below the age of 16. Now, this suggestion came in the backdrop of a public interest litigation filed in 2018, which expressed that pornographic content is available and children can easily access it. A division bench of Justice G. Chandran and Justice K.K. Ramakrishnan made the observations recently while passing orders on the PIL that saw directions to internet service providers to offer parental window services. It cited the easy availability and accessibility of pornographic content to young children. The bench directed the authorities concerned to accelerate their awareness campaign more effectively, taking the message to the vulnerable group through all available media, till the centre explores the possibility of passing a legislation like Australia. Under 16s in Australia are now banned from using major social media services, including TikTok, X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, and Threads. They cannot set up new accounts, and existing profiles are being deactivated. It has been brought about to replace the negative impact of social media's design feature that encourages young people to spend more time on screens, while also serving up content that can harm their health and well-being. The ban is the first of its kind and is being watched closely by other countries, including India. While the age-wise composition is not known, official data shows that India had over 1,000 million internet subscribers as of September. That is up from about 250 million in March of 2014. India does not impose a blanket ban on under 16s, but regulates their uses to some extent through the Information Technology Act 2000 and the Information Technology Rules 2021. The IT Act classifies social media platforms as intermediaries and provides the legal framework for intermediary liability and enforcement, while IT rules imposes due diligence obligations on intermediaries, require large platforms to appoint local officers, and mandates regular compliance reports. The rules also prescribe a code of ethics to regulate and address harmful content on OTT platforms. All right, to discuss this issue in detail, we're now being joined by Amit Dubey from New Delhi. He is a renowned cybersecurity expert. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Now, we know that Madras High Court has now supported under 16 regulations like Australia has. How do you assess it first?
I think it was long required expectations, and I've been getting similar cases from all around, especially from the senior government officers, secretaries, joint secretaries. They have teenage kids. And when they call me night, 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. that there's a situation. And when I visit their house, I find that because they are stopping their kids to not use social media or games, they are showing withdrawal symptoms. These withdrawal symptoms are as severe as they are sometimes hitting people. They are even destroying things in the house and even running away and threatening to commit suicide. This is the situation. I'm getting almost 10, 12 such cases every month. This is such a serious situation. So uses of internet, uses of social media and games have become like a drug addiction. And these kids are really affected, severely affected. They're not only going through very psychological disorders, but also impacting their health, mental conditions, going to depression, and also sometimes deteriorating very, very violently. And that is a very serious situation. I'm referring kids of 13, 14, 15 years of age. Most of these kind of victims are of this age. And that's why this situation was already observed in other countries. China has only restricted 45 minutes of internet use for a kid which is teenage, under 18 years age of kid. Australia has also given this rules and regulations. Japan is also thinking seriously on these grounds. I'm sure that India should also consider this, otherwise we will lose this entire generation. They will become puppet of social media. They'll be as disturbed as people are disturbed due to drugs and other kind of such addictions. So I'm seriously thinking that this is, and to implement this will require lots of technical support. Rules will not help us to get it done, because rule is only for those people who can understand the impact of it. But these kids do not understand. They will use VPNs, they will use other ways of getting internet access by stealing it these kids are really smart. Honestly speaking, if I go and speak in any government school where we have 500 kids and most of them may not have laptop access at their home, probably they're using mobile phone of their parents. Then if I ask them that how many of you have hacked something, normally 25 to 30% kids raise their hands that we have hacked. Okay, what did you hack? We have hacked Wi-Fi. How did you hack? Oh, there is an app called WPS Connect. Anybody can use it to hack. They give me a list of applications through which you can hack Wi-Fi. Then I ask them, what else did you do? Oh, we have had Gmails. Well, how could you do this? Oh, we just took the OTPs through call merging technique or call forwarding technique. They told me 12 such techniques, commonly used techniques by them, through which they can hack Gmail and other accounts as well. This is the level of awareness they are going through. Now, the same thing can be misused. Even if we bring laws, they are smart enough to bypass these laws. It is very, very dangerous and serious situation, and I'm sure that government should take cognizance of it.
Absolutely, and you've pointed out all the major problems, and I was really going to come to that, and you have listed all of them. But then now let's talk about the solutions, because let's talk about social media. How does it impact children? Now we're talking about how it negatively impacts them, but then we also have some children looking at social media, YouTube, to get lessons and stuff. Where do we draw the line? And when we draw the line, what are these specific tech rules that can be imposed on these? We know that when it comes to Australia, they have empowered authorities to monitor compliances, then it prompts notice of non-compliance. When it comes to India, we have this Information Tech Act, information technology rules. Where is India equipped to tackle all of this?
I think we need lots of public support also to achieve this. Just by putting or giving a law will not help us. In China, they have a technology through which they can capture your age. When you are using a phone, you are looking at a screen, they know that what is your age bracket. And based on that, they'll restrict your internet access. Even if you are using it on different devices, they know that you are the same person who have used internet on other devices just a few minutes back. So this is the technology that they have in the background through which they can regulate this effectively. In India, it is not possible right now. If suppose you start calculating age of a person, people start raising concern. They think that there is a surveillance. Somebody is looking at them. In fact, people have raised questions on DG Yatra. They come to me and they say that, is it okay to use DG Yatra? Should we use a facial recognition system when we are traveling? And this is a very simple way of recognizing a person without capturing his face or her face. DG Yatra does not capture your face. They just capture your facial parameters and convert them into a hash value through which we can recognize you. It doesn't mean that we know your face. Rather, once this hash value is calculated, nobody can regenerate your face with those hash values. This is a unidirectional encoding. And the same technique is used by China and many other countries to recognize people without revealing their personal traits. This is something which people should understand. Then only we'll get the support of them. Otherwise, even if we make a law and try to impose this through these kind of technical supports, people will retaliate. They'll go against government also. So I see it a social problem first than a technical. First, we need to make people aware that this is really a problem. This is hampering you, your kids, your future. They will not talk to you. And honestly speaking, most of these serious kids, it's quite normal. I've been invited by a school in Noida. And then the principal said that we are getting a continuous complaint from our parents. The teenage kid, stop talking to them. They don't talk. There's nobody go back to their home and they start looking to some mobile phone, laptop, and their communication is almost negligible, very less. And this is a serious situation. If you don't know what is going through their mind or what is bothering them or whether they are in the right mindset, eventually it gets converted to some shocking revolutions later. Right. This is something which is happening in almost every school. People understand when I'm speaking here, I'm sure everybody could relate it to it because I'm getting these complaints from every school.
Absolutely, I understand that. When it comes to social media platforms, let's talk about social media platforms. When we look at the data, 1,000 million subscribers, internet subscribers in India. That has gone. That's from 250 million subscribers. That's a large number. Are these social media platforms now liable for the mental health impacts? Because in the end, these are the platforms that, of course, also need to earn money. So where does this lie? How do we make these social media platforms liable to these problems, these mental health impacts on children?
See, social media's. First, we need to understand a few of these intricacies of social media. They collect so much data about you that they know you don't know about yourself. if you go to Play Store and try to search Facebook or Instagram or any such app that you have on your phone, and under data security option, you will find what all data they have been collecting, which includes your political belief, religious belief, financial activities, your health activities, and many other personal details. You have not given these details to any edit box, through a form, to these apps. They are collecting this data because of your phone activities, your physical activities, and movement. Now, this is a serious situation if it is happening with a kid. If they are getting, and why do they collect this data? Because they don't want to show you advertisement. No, advertisement is not the only purpose to collect this data. Actually, they want to control you. We all are the product of that data that has been fed to us since our birth. We are influenced all the time with these data points, and then our aspirations, our likes, our fear, our ideologies, everything will depend on those data. So social media, if is consumed too much without logical understanding, I think will hamper a nation completely, which we have seen recently in Nepal. This could happen with any other country if we are not controlling. Because people will not understand the rights and wrongs. They'll just get influenced through videos and these kind of contents, and they start making opinion. They don't have time to even verify few of these things. They don't have time to even logically think about few of these things. They are too much emotional, vulnerable, and soft targets. I think that is really serious, especially about teenage kids. If you refer about a person of my age and your age, probably we may have seen a world without internet or without mobile phone. These kids have not seen that world. They don't. They can't imagine that there is a possibility of survival without, and that is a risky situation.
Right. And of course, we'll have to analyze how these laws are going to come and impact. Personally, of course, parents, teachers, they're all responsible. But when it comes to laws and tech, and I think it's equally responsibility of these, the government or probably the tech world to find a way to start out with solutions, which you just saw even China does. But of course, we'll have to wait and see how India actually progresses and overcomes this problem. Thank you so much for joining us on the show and giving your perspective.